Hello, hi guys. So now let's talk about how can you download and install Python for your operating system, whether your operating system may be Windows or Linux or Mac OS. So today I'll be showing how you can install with the Windows and Linux operating system. So first what you have to do is you go to this python.org. So this is the website where you can download a Python. So a complete tour of like what this website about, what are all the tabs, like what actually it tells, like how can you see the documents and how can you refer the developer or a beginner guide. Everything I made a separate video and the link for that video is mentioned in the description. Please go through it. So first thing is like let's go for this download tab and let's click on this one. And here you can see there is a download button for Python 3.9.2. So by default, automatically your Google Chrome or whatever the web browser you are using, it automatically identifies your operating system, and then directly you can click on the download here and it start download. So let's cancel that one and let's talk about little bit on that. And there are like two versions of Python. So one is like Python 2.7. It is basically called as Python 2, and there are other versions which starts with 3, which is nothing but a Python 3 version. So here you can see Python 2.7, which is end of life. It is nowhere supported from the Python community. So it's better always go ahead with the Python 3 version, which is simply called as Python 3. And here you can see Python 3.9.2, Python 8.8. There are a lot of versions with respect to Python 3. So here you can select any one of the versions which you like. So by default it will always be pointed to a latest version. And here in the download section, if you go to Windows, here there are like a lot of different options to download. Let's take one section. Let's take 3.9.2 for Python. So here it is saying it is for 32-bit, 64-bit, and here it is an installer file. So always try to go ahead with the installer because it automatically creates an environment and it automatically copies the Python stuff into your program files. That headaches you no need to be taken care. And this embedded package is nothing but a zip file, so whenever you download everything, like where it has to be keep everything, you need to take care. So that's why it's better to avoid the headaches, you go ahead with a Python Windows installer. So to know which one, what you have to do is let's go to your Windows and click on about PC. Then here you can see your operating system is 64-bit operating system and x86 based architecture. This is what your operating system, and the RAM is 4 GB. Here the main thing is 64-bit. So you go ahead and click on this Microsoft installer 64-bit. I'll click on this one. See here, here you can see both. Last time I cancelled and this one, both are same. So let it download. Here now the download is finished. Let's click on show in folder, and here you can see that is already downloaded into my download folder. So let's right click and open, or just directly double click on that. Once you double click, this is the one of the UI which comes. So here the main thing is you need to check this one, add Python 3.92 path. What does it mean is like whenever you open a command prompt and if you want to type Python, at the time it should execute that Python. So if you want to do that one, like then you need to enable this one, add Python, then click on this one, install now. So then once you do that one, it started installing your Python 3 into your operating system. Here you can see Python for Windows. Let's wait for installation. Now the Python is installed successfully. Here you can see setup was successful. Now close this one. Now go to desktop, and here you click on this and type Python. So here you can see Python, like not here. So let's here it should have come, Python would have come. Here you can see Python 3.9. Yeah, here like just you can go and click on this idle. So idle is like a small what do you say IDE to write small Python program. It is like an interactive shell. Here you can see, here you can create new file, and here you can write a Python program. Let's say have print hello world, then save. Let's save this file into my desktop, say hello.py. So this is the extension. So here you can see this is been saved. This is one more, it's a Python script. So here you can go to shell, and there are like a lot of options which is available here. If you say open module, sorry, not this one. So let's write a small program here. It's 1 plus 2 is 3, like print hello world. Here you can see the Python is executing in an interactive way, and there are like some options directly you can open the file itself. Like here I open hello.py, and from here itself you can run this module, and here you can see it is been printed, it is running. So let's make a small video, like a small loop for I in range of, let's say 0 to 10, print I. Press Ctrl S and run. Here you can see it has printed 0 to 9 on your idle console. This is one small kind of IDE which is given, which is come along with once you install a Python. Let's close this one. Let's see like what are all other things which is already present in Python. So go here, Python 3.9, and here you can see Python 3.9. This is a manual which you can open, and this is the complete help documents where you can refer to all the Python libraries. Let's go into math. So here you can see what is the function name, like what is the parameter, how you can use, everything will be explained. You no need to go to online and search everything. So everything is available inside this help document itself. Let's close, and let's see what are all the other stuffs which is present. Go to Python 3.9. There is one more thing, that is this one. Let's open. This is nothing but a Python terminal. It's almost like a command prompt for a Python. So here it is almost similar to idle. So here you can use 1 plus 2 or print hello. So this is almost similar to idle, but it is this is called a Python terminal. So let's close this one, and let's see how can we execute through command. Type cmd. What I did is Windows, or you can click here and see cmd and click on this one. And if you want to run Python, what you have to do is Python, you enter this one. Here you can see Python 3.9.2 is come. If you want to execute this command, let's say Python 3. So Python 3 is not recognized. So basically you need to give a command called Python, then the interactive shell for that Python will be seen in this. So that means your Python is installed. If you want to see which version of Python, you can do version, sorry, double. Here you can see you have installed Python 3.9.2. So now you have successfully installed Python, and later like how to write a hello word in Python, and how the compilation of a Python works, and whether the Python is a compiler or an interpreter, everything I'm going to do a separate video, and the link for that video will be mentioned in a description. Please go through that one. Now let's look like how can you install a Python or a Python 2 or Python 3 in Ubuntu operating system. Let's go through that one. Now we'll see how can we install Python on Ubuntu. So by default, like whenever you download Ubuntu and install Ubuntu in your as your operating system, so Python 3 is installed by default. So when I say Python 3, here it is saying like Python 3.5. That means Python is already installed. So to know like where actually it is installed, you need to say Python, which Python 3. So it will tell you like where actually the Python is already installed. So now the Python 3 is already installed in your system, and let's see like whether Python 2 is present in my system. Let's say Python 2, or simply call it as Python. So in a Ubuntu operating system or in a Linux operating system, the convention is like whenever you say Python 3, it automatically says like it is a Python 3 based executable. That means like we need to tell like Python 3 to tell we are using Python 3, or simply if you say Python, then it will point to Python 2, version Python 2. Now Python 2 is not installed in my system. So here you can see the Ubuntu is automatically telling me like what is the command we need to execute in order to install Python 2. So it is like sudo apt python 2. If you do this one, the Python will automatically get installed. So let's see like how can we install from the website. So here I have opened the python.org. So go to download, and simply if you click on download, as I said earlier, the browser automatically detects this operating system. Then it automatically points to Python 3.9.2, which is for Linux. So when I click on this one, it is here you can see it is in a tar.xz format. So what does it format? What is it? So whenever we are trying to download for Windows, it was saying like it is an executable or installer. Here it is telling it is a tar.xz format. So it is there is no big thing inside this one. It means it is zipped format. So in Windows either you can use 7-zip or other tools to unzip. So like that in a Linux there are different tools to unzip this. So it is like completely a zip file which I have mentioned in a Windows. We can download and we can install, means like copy this output, unzip this one and install somewhere in your folder. So that is like not a better way of doing, because you need to maintain the path where actually it is installed. Everything we need to maintain. So let's see like what is there in Linux or Unix. So here also you can see there is two zip format. One is exec compressed tarball and gzip source tarball. It is nothing but like two different way of comprising the Python software and kept it here. So here you can download, unzip, and you can use. So the best and the easy way is take out this command, shift control C and shift control V. It pastes here, click and enter. So now here you can see Python 2 is getting installed. So now after this installation, my Ubuntu will be having two Python. One is Python 2 and another one is Python 3. To install Python 2, to execute Python 2, as I already said, like we need to say Python, and for Python 3 we need to explicitly say Python 3. So that is where we can see like both the executables are executed. Like I'll show like once after it is downloaded and installed. Yes, now it is installed. Let's type Python. So now Python not found. Let's say Python 2. See here. So Python 2.7.1 it is installed. Let's see where actually it is. Which Python 2. So here it is saying it is installed in /userbin python 2. So here this is the actual program, which is nothing but a Python interpreter which is installed in userbin by executing the command sudo apt install python 2. So from where actually it is installed is, it went to a Ubuntu repository. Ubuntu repository maintains a latest copy of the Python for you. So then from there it automatically installed. It looks very simple, right? Compared to Windows, like in Windows it is very difficult. We need to go and install, we need to set the path variable, everything. So but in Ubuntu it is very easy to do that one. So now let's try to execute some program. Hello world, open Python. So here hello then it's executing fine. That means your Python is working fine. To see the version of Python, as I earlier told, execute Python version, and for Python 2 it is saying Python 2.7.18. So this is the last version of the Python 2 which is supported from Python community. Then onwards Python is deprecated, Python 2 is deprecated. So it's better always work with Python 3. Yes guys, this is what about the installation of a Python in a Ubuntu operating system or a Linux operating system. Hope you have enjoyed, and if you like the video, please share, subscribe. Thank you very much.